Hey there, Reborn friends. I'm parked out in some generic parking lot in town right now because I wanted to stop so I could talk. And making this video for my reborn friends and even my reborn enemies, which I apparently have many of. Ever since I adopted Dakota, I think my enemies have tripled. And that's okay, because I knew that that was going to happen, but I didn't realize how serious it was going to be. Ridiculously serious. But I'll come to that later on in the video. So here's what happened today. I was totally okay. This morning I woke up and then I started getting really excited, happy, because I was getting together with friends for brunch, and then we were going to go shopping and maybe see a movie because we wanted to see Gravity, and they were showing it at, Gravity in 3D, so at IMAX, so we were really excited going to go. And then, so I got together, we had a great brunch, and you know how, like, even if you don't feel that great, when you're together with friends that you love, and it just makes you feel good, whether you feel it or not. It's eventually, even if you're depressed, it just sort of just brings you out, and eventually you'll feel a little bit better. I do anyway. But I was okay. I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad. I was just neutral. And then, so we were together like for 5 hours and had a lot of fun, and then we departed. Yes, we were departed. No, we parted, and as I was driving home, I was in New York, New York State, and New York on Sundays everything is open. Where we live in New Jersey, Bergen County, they have something called Blue Laws, so nothing really is open. The stores aren't allowed to be open on Sunday, except for supermarkets and gas stations. So I was in New York State, and I stopped off in a mini mall. I noticed in this mini mall they had Target, Babies R Us, Kohl's, and TJ Maxx. It was like like a foursome there. So I was going to start like I wanted to walk because like I had still a lot of energy and happiness. So I went into Babies R Us first, and I started taping, and I was I couldn't. There was a lot of people there because it's a Sunday, people are off, and there's a lot of people there, and I was taping in different places. I taped over Heidi Klum area. I taped over FAO Schwartz area. I taped over at the Christmas area. And so I'd go to each area, and I'd tape and talk. I wasn't talking loud. And I wasn't my silly self or anything because there were too many people to be silly. So so I finished at the Christmas area, I think, and then I was walking over towards the blanket area, and there was an older woman with her daughter and a baby boy. They were there, three of them shopping, and she sort of stopped me. The grandma, she sort of stopped me, and she said, "Are you a fashion photographer?" So I said, "No." She said, "Oh, because I saw you taking pictures of a lot of the baby clothes, and you were talking, and I was wondering what that was." And I said, "No, I'm just like making pictures and videos for a channel that I belong to on YouTube." And she had no idea what I was talking. She didn't know what YouTube is. Her daughter said, "Oh, I know YouTube." And then she said, "Well, what do you have a channel for the baby clothes?" And I said, "No, it's a hobby that I have for dolls, and we dress up the dolls." And she said, "Oh, that's really nice." And then her daughter said, "What kind of dolls?" And then I had to start explaining what types of dolls. It wasn't just like any doll and I had to explain about reborn dolls. And at first she, like when I said it's a reborn doll, she looked at me. She said, "What is that?" It was like as if I just said to her, "It's a doll." She had no idea, of course, what it was, And so I explained to her, as simply as what it was. And her daughter said, "That is so disgusting." Now, her daughter had looked like a 6-month-old baby boy, in the carriage. And the daughter looked about 30, and the grandma, looked about, 55, 60. And she said, "Why do people do that?" And so I I shouldn't have engaged them really in conversation about it. That was my error. but I was feeling okay enough to, to chat about it. And basically, what happened was they proceeded to ask whether or not I do this. Do I have children? Do I do this as a substitute to children? The grandma said to me, well, are those dolls going to be there and take care of you when you get older? Oh, God. So I said to her, no, but I play piano, and the piano's not going to be taking care of me. I also collect coins with some friends, and the coins aren't going to be taking care of me. And so I have, other interests and do other things. Then I don't just do something in life for something to take care of me. And the entire time the daughter just kept saying, that's really sick. And she goes like, I'm sorry, ma'am, to say so, but that is just really sick. So I said, okay, at one point I said, you're entitled to your opinion, of course. There's lots of things that people do that I find sick and offensive, and I just walk on and walk away. They're not affecting me whatsoever, and I certainly don't care. But she said, then the grandma said, I want to know where I could see these, because I really feel sorry for these people. She goes and then the daughter says, she goes at one point she says ma, let's just go, ma. And but she didn't, because the grandma, I guess, was in the mood to challenge me. Sometimes people like to argue because they get this rush of adrenaline, and the adrenaline makes them feel good, whereas they weren't feeling good before, and they enjoy that feeling. So they like to argue and stuff, and I made the mistake of engaging her in the argument, and I didn't want to insult her or anything, because truth is I could have very, very, very easily insulted her, and I didn't, because it's not right to do. I had a couple of points where I could have really hurt her feelings very, very much, and I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't, because the world will show her things, and it'll be self-explanatory, as she gets older. And sometimes it takes people longer to realize that everybody has an opinion. And don't they say, I think that they say opinions are like a-holes. Everybody has one, and they usually stink, including mine, So anyway, so when I finally left, I'm driving, and I totally lost all excitement and interest in going to any of the other stores in the mini mall, and I stopped taping in Babies R Us. And anyway, the taping that I was doing there was so boring. I was so sort of, because I couldn't be my usual self. I was just sort of blah, talking blah, just boring, for me, boring anyway. And it wasn't exciting. I don't know. I'll put on the video, what I do have after this. But, you'll probably not like it, because it's just boring. But for me anyway. So I don't know, the whole thing just got me to thinking. And then once I start thinking about this kind of stuff, I just think, then I collect all the negatives regarding this hobby, and I also think about, I get these PMs how come you're always so happy? How come you're always so silly? How do you, do you take a magic pill? And I don't think that they're being mean-spirited when people ask me that, because the truth is, you only catch me when I'm happy. I'm not going to be making a video when things aren't going well, or things are not exciting or anything. That's not me to be making a video, except for now. And a couple of times I've had meltdowns, and I shared them on YouTube because I wanted to be heard, and I guess right now I want to be heard too. There's no real answer to any of this. We've all discussed it and stuff to nauseam already, regarding who do we share this stuff with, how do we deal with people who challenge us, do we tell our family, do we tell our friends? This is old news sort of stuff, But I had never been so challenged. This is my first time being challenged in such a way, because I was really challenged there. Daughter was telling me, like, this is really sick. I did. I said to her, like, look, I understand you have a new baby there. And you hate the idea, like, it's uncomfortable for you, the idea that people make dolls, like, that might look exactly like your baby, make them real, and then treat them like they're real themselves. Of course you're going to think that these people have sanity problems. Of course you will. But for the truth of the matter is, most of the people, I'd say 99% of the people that I know, I think that I know anyway, do not really believe that they're real. Do not spend all their day long with the reborn dolls. They have lives outside of reborn dolls. Maybe some people are playing with them and dressing them and such more often than others, but I doubt anybody just spends their day inside the house playing with their reborn dolls, or that's all they do is, take their reborn dolls everywhere. It's just like moments. You have moments like you play piano. You want to play piano sometimes. You want to collect coins. You want to go play tennis. You want to go swimming. You want to go, do things out in the world. Whatever you want to do, you do it sometimes. I know I do mine sometimes. I can't stay focused really on anything like too long anymore, so I will be right back. I need to take some soda. So yeah, that sort of put me in a bad mood, because that was my first person ever to really challenge it and try to insult me and try to put me in my place, or advise me to get help, in her way. She didn't say, wow, you need mental help, but all her challenges to the hobby was just overboard, and all I did literally, she was the one who stopped me. I did not stop her. It wasn't as if I was like in some silly mood and I stopped her or I bothered her in any way. She was the one who approached me while I was taking pictures of clothes, and I think that she really did want to know, like, oh, it's like, am I some sort of fashion photographer? I don't know why she wanted to know, or so I don't know. Anyway, I can't even remember now how we left it. I sort of just like walked away. I smiled and like walked away. I sort of took the high road, not completely, but I didn't say what I really wanted to say to insult her back, because you know how it is sometimes when someone insults you, you want to insult them back. And I used to be like that, when I was younger, and I've learned that that's not really the correct way to go, not for the other person, but for yourself, in terms of respecting yourself and doing what's right for you, because you're the one who takes yourself home at the end of the day, right? You're the one who has to live with yourself. When everybody else goes home to doing whatever they're doing, you go home to be you. And you know what you do, and everything you do, affects your mind and your body, and you know the truth. So, and that's all that really matters. When you get older, you sort of realize that stuff, and the other stuff doesn't really matter. Anyway, so yeah, my next video is going to be all the hate mail, I guess, that I've gotten over the last, month since I've had Dakota. This is nothing new. I've always had hate mail to one degree or another. I'm sure we all do, to some degree. So that's the next video. Okay.